I'm Sagri. I'm the co-curator of the Founders Peak, and today I have here with me Simon, who is the founder and CEO of Januar. Welcome to the Founders Peak Unplugged podcast.
Thanks a lot.
Pleasure to have you with us. All right, why don't you tell us in about 30 seconds a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Januar?
Yep. So my name is Simon. I've been working in the crypto compliance space since 2016.
Yeah.
And one of the big problems for crypto businesses is access to payments and banking.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're selling bow ties or bitcoins. If you can't get a bank account, you can't run your business. So that's the problem we're solving with Januar. We are European regulated payment institution, so we can issue IBAN accounts for payments for crypto businesses, and we do crypto brokering as well. So that's the core business.
Excellent. Well done. Within 30 seconds. Tell me, how did the name Januar come about? What does it mean? I know, I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Januar?
In Danish, it's Januar.
Januar,
but
yeah.
you can say Januar. That's
all right.
You can do it in French as well, but
Januar.
Januar, yeah. No, it's actually a really good story. So Janus, Janus is the Roman god of like doors and transitions, and he has a face that looks into the future, another face that looks into the past. And he was the first to mint coins, and we thought that was really cool. Like, we like to see that we're doing the IBANs and the traditional payments. We're also doing crypto, and then we could get the .com domain as well.
That is very cool.
So that was the kicker. Yeah.
Good story. Yeah, for sure. All right. Tell us one fun and fiery fact about yourself that not many people know.
Don't know if it's fiery, but I'm actually a biologist by education.
Okay.
So I'm a natural scientist, so it was definitely not written that I would be working in finance. But yeah. for some reason, a biologist picked up the scent of something that none of the bankers or none of the economists in the world had picked up when I joined this industry.
Very interesting. We had a founder with us yesterday who started out as a marine biologist. So there we go. Yeah. I actually did know a fun fact about you as well, which I am going to mention here. You are an educator and examiner with the Danish Canoe and Kayaking Federation?
Yes,
that's
right? True. That's true.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of training and education, and I'm not sure anymore, but I was one of the highest educated educators of kayaking instructors in Denmark for the Danish Federation.
Lovely.
Don't have a lot of time for that anymore, but it was a good break from what else I've been doing.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, 2 fun facts then.
Yeah.
All right, let's tap into your entrepreneurial wisdom a little bit, right? So, as an entrepreneur, what are 2 of the biggest challenges that you've faced? How did you overcome them? And what did you do when things were not going according to plan? How did you sort of navigate your way around that?
Yeah, so we've had a couple of those situations, and the first example is we raised our seed round in 2021. So right at the top of the market, interest rates were nothing, crypto was booming, VCs were throwing money left, right, and center, and valuations were very high. I'm a very strong believer in what we're doing. I think there's a massive opportunity in what we're building. We haven't done any pivots. Like, the core business is exactly what we set out to build in 2021. So when we took in the seed money, we did Denmark's largest seed round of 6 million euros. And that was before we had a product, or before we had a license, and everything was booming, right? And then our license got delayed. So suddenly we had a very large team. We were still building, but we couldn't onboard clients. We couldn't actually generate revenue. So that was definitely one of the first difficult experiences, like having to scale down a lot of people and get the burn rate down, because you can't. If the license is delayed, you can't just run with such a massive burn.
Yeah.
And that was definitely in Denmark. You say it puts hair on your chest when you have to go through experiences like that.
Right.
So that was hard, letting go of a lot of good people. But at the same time, it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that was tough, and you learn a lot about like kind of how you put together your team and how you make yourself like less vulnerable to situations like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one to kind of. We see that with with founders, and just the whole theme of, building dream teams and founder conflicts, and how do you navigate through that, right? So I'm sure
you just want to build. Like
exactly.
that's at least the type of person I am. I just like I know exactly what I want to build.
Yeah.
And it can't happen quickly enough.
No, I know. Patience, persistence.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
All right, give us one more such nugget of wisdom from your, trajectory and your experience. Another challenge that you've overcome.
Yeah. So an interesting thing about being in the crypto space is that the market cycles are typically 4 years.
Right.
Like, almost like clockwork. You see the markets go up, go down, go up. Typical venture funding cycles are 2 years or something like that.
Okay.
So that's always a challenge for crypto businesses, which means that when you're out raising, maybe the markets aren't up, or maybe they're up when we had to do another not as significant reduction, but reduce the workforce. Not too long ago, I think about 6 months ago, something like that. It wasn't as difficult that time because we kind of knew how to build up a more kind of solid structure and more key personnel. But it was still difficult. And what we ended up doing was that a lot of the management group, a lot of the co-founders became very operational. So like a real rolling up your sleeve type of situation.
Really like hustling, getting down,
Exactly.
And dirty work as well, as they call it, right?
Yeah. And not necessarily the work that you enjoy doing. What is it founder mode? It's called right now, I think. So we did that, and I myself, I was working with strategy, business development, and I became the money laundering reporting officer.
Okay.
So like a very operational task, but also like a lot of responsibility because you own the money laundering policies and the clients you onboard and stuff like that. And that's something I know a lot about, but as a trainer and educator. So I used to work at Chainalysis, where I was educating all the key stakeholders in the industry on compliance and all that stuff. But I enjoyed the training and being out and kind of educating people. So now I had to be very practical and very hands-on and actually do the work. That's been very rewarding in some ways.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I'm sure.
very painful in other ways.
Yeah. Yep. Great.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right. I'm going to ask you a sort of follow-up question to, with Januar. Hope I've got that pronunciation right now. But how do you actually turn, compliance headaches into growth opportunities for crypto startups?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that's exactly what we're good at. So this is what I've been working with for the last almost 10 years.
Okay.
Is actually understanding how crypto works, how you do compliance on that, but also what are the business models? Do they make sense?
Right.
So a lot of our clients are working in the crypto space. It can be slightly different business models. Yeah. And to say a traditional bank, they'll just look at them and maybe they'll say, crypto, we can't do that. And then there's the ones that say, crypto, we can do that, but we actually don't understand your business model. We don't have the policies to work with that specific type of business.
Right.
And that's where we're way more agile or dynamic, because we can actually go in, we'll understand the business. We understand the risks, even if it's a bit unorthodox. And then we can actually put in custom guardrails around that business if it makes commercial sense.
Right.
So not only do we have our risk policies, we can actually update them so we can take in clients that would otherwise be difficult. And that's one of the things that's been very fun to do. Also because we're not just building our own business, but we're actually enabling the entrepreneurs out there that would be otherwise not there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a different sort of a fulfillment when you're an entrepreneur helping other entrepreneurs, right? So that's why we're here as well. All right. For your sort of the last lesson, that I want to know about is, tell me about a time when, you had your biggest win a time when you thought you totally nailed it, and how did that success come about? What did you learn from it?
It's actually connected to what I was talking about before about going in and being operational.
Yeah.
Because when you're regulated like we are, you have inspections from the regulators.
Right.
And that's always kind of intense periods.
Yeah.
Because they'll go and review your policies, do sampling, everything. And we just had that inspection, I think it's 2 months ago or something. I think last week or something, we were notified about the results of this inspection. Okay. And we got 0 remarks on the anti-money laundering policies and part of the business, which generally doesn't happen. And really? It generally definitely doesn't happen for companies that does both payments and payments for crypto businesses.
Right.
So I'm personally very proud of that.
That we actually proud of.
managed to do that.
Yeah.
And it's also really, really helpful for the business because it really shows our commitment to compliance.
Right.
And we're not just talking the talk, but we actually have kind of validation on the validity of our compliance programs.
Right. Well, well done and congratulations.
Thank you. It was a good day. Also personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I'm ready for some fun if you are.
Yeah, sure.
Are you up for some rapid fire?
I'm totally up for some rapid fire.
Cool. All right. Well, we've got 4 categories here. We've got a trivia category called This or That. We've got the what if questions, the would you rather questions, and we've got the Shark Tank hustle. I think we've got time for about maybe 3 of these. So
okay.
Which one do you want to go for? Pick the cards up, and then you can give them to me.
All of them, or just
no,
one?
just the whole stack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to fan them out, and you pick a question, and we're going to go with that one. All right. Okay, I like this one. Would you rather have unlimited funding with little or no control over your startup, or limited funding but with full control?
Oh. That's a difficult one.
I know.
I would rather have. We're regulated. It's not fun to not have funding.
Yeah.
Everything is expensive in fintech.
Yeah.
I would have to convince people, but I'll do that.
So
unlimited funding.
Unlimited funding.
Yeah.
With little control.
I'll have to argue my case. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair. That's a fair one. I'll give that one to you. All right. Next category.
What if question? I think.
What if question? Okay.
I'll go with this one.
Ooh, this is a favorite. What if you had to permanently relocate your startup to another country? Where would you go?
Oh, that's interesting. I'm in Denmark, right? It rains and it's cold most of the year.
Yes, yeah.
Somewhere warm. So either I would go with like southern Spain, Portugal, or maybe Singapore. Could be.
You should come to Singapore.
Could be good. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you why, but I guess it's because you're too cold and too wet here.
Yeah. If you have to move, like, you wouldn't go to the UK or something.
No, it'd be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good one. I'm going to give you a bonus one, just because I know it's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you this for fun, and then we'll do the last one. And I think this is one of the what if questions.
Yeah.
What if your dream client wanted to pay you in cryptocurrencies? That's the only way of landing your dream client. Would you be up for that?
Yeah, they kind of already do.
They do,
in some
okay.
level.
Right.
They could, right?
That.
Yeah. That wouldn't actually be a very big thing, I think.
Okay, cool. I thought as much. I just thought I'd like to know your opinion on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Last category.
This Shark Tank hustle.
Okay. No trivia then.
Okay.
Cool. There you go.
I'll go with the middle one.
All right. Okay. If you could trade places with another startup founder for a day, who would it be and why?
Another startup founder for it. Sam Altman. I would like to know what's happening in that.
Wouldn't we all?
There's some meetings in there I would love to attend. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Good. Yeah. Very good. I'd take that answer.
Look behind the curtain. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.